The Basketball Africa League comes to a conclusion today. First of all, the third-place playoff between yesterday's losing semi-finalist Petro de Luanda and Patriots will take place before we enter the kingdom of African basketball supremacy. As the Egyptian and Tunisian powerhouses of Zamalek and US Monastir enter the arena with ambitions of lifting the magnificent BAL trophy, which is waiting to find its rightful owner. First of all, let's address the third-place playoff. The Patriots have punched above their weight since their creation only 7 years ago. So to finish third here at their own home event will be a fitting finale. Petro's ambitions of winning the first ever BAL were dashed by Zamalek, so they'll be up for this, as they have a winning pedigree and their reputation is at stake. I know someone whose reputation is not on the line because he delivers so much more than expected. NBA executive and television analyst Lance Blanks.
My main man and my agent, Robbie. Yeah, we're ready to rumble. You know, we were in this building less than 24 hours ago, as were the players. You and I ran our mouths. They ran their bodies and legs. Who got the most rest and who can recalibrate in less than 24 hours and bring the juice and get third place, Robbie?
Well, I think there's something stewing here today. There's most definitely, and just to bring in our third part of this wonderful triangle of expertise, we're blessed to have with us our very own human encyclopedia. Oh, she can talk about longhorns, buckets, baobab trees, and so much more. Asha Komugisha, how are you?
I'm great, Robbie. Very excited for the final day of the BAL here in Kigali and looking forward to the action.
We're looking forward to hearing from you throughout the game as we see the first three-pointer absolutely nailed there. You can just see that they're here for business, aren't they? Just drops in sumptuously. That man, you can call him what do you like, but Shobozwa.
Shobozwa.
But we like to call him Jean-Jacques.
Yeah, Jean-Jacques a little easier than in Shobozwa, but nonetheless, he deserves the love as the shot is missed by Petro.
It's an interesting one, isn't it, to try and understand exactly where you're going to go. 24 hours, as you mentioned, Lance. You're coming to this one. You're a little bit tired bones, you know. The sleep was vital. Eating the right food, of course, is essential. As we see Paolo go up for three. Off the metal it goes and taken there by the big man at the back, who is going to be important here, Principe. And yeah, it's you know, this is bragging right. You're going to finish on the podium at the end of the day. You know, no one likes that fourth place.
No, you don't really. You don't want to. Everyone actually, Robbie, will be either the first, second, third, or fourth loser of this group. There's only going to be one champion. But to your point, you don't want to get into the final group and come out 0-2. So the Patriots, I think, will try to protect the home turf and come out of here with a victory against a very mature Petro de Luanda ball club.
Yeah, the Angolans, of course, with a wonderful, lucrative CV in terms of trophies won over the years. Of course, the most successful nation in Africa in terms of basketball. So it's great to see Coach Neto there, of course, coming and from Brazil and taking over this club. He's been wonderful with us, just like Alan Major, just like all of the coaches. Something to be underlined. They have been so responsive. They've been very accommodating in giving us intel, and Usher's been talking with them constantly, of course, but we get the chance to have a little word as well. Fantastic stuff and very open and available. As we see, there's a chance for 3 points, and in she goes from that man, Dundao.
Yeah, Dundao knocks down the big three. You mentioned the coaches and Coach Neto. His conditioning is fascinating to me. He's probably one of the most conditioned people here, regardless of playing or not. Unfortunately, Brazilian coach is unable to come out and get into the championship game as Gassana misses the three ball, and then it's blocked by Pedro, the putback by eBay.
And there's a chance for Gonçalves with the layup, just dropping it in. There you can see he's coming back down. I think that he's, what's he complaining about with his leg down there?
I think it's the shoe. Something has come off.
The lace, it's his lace undone.
Yeah, he's trying to get some stoppage, but Tom Bush is going to have none of it as Pedro gets the rebound. And Moraes goes back the other way and then gives it back to the shoeless wonder, if you will, who still wants to be able to tie the shoe. Slavis.
You know, his socks are perfectly sort of positioned, but his shoelace is just
the
undone.
socks. You're always on those dang socks, Robbie. The socks are what's most important,
Accessories.
right?
Accessories are very important as they get the ball back out. Once again, Paolo out wide. Dundao punching above his weight here with a beautiful three-pointer. That's 6 points for the young playmaker.
Yeah, and I think the young playmaker got a benefit of the shoe issues because no one's guarding him. No one's within. We were as close as any defender. As Moraes gets the shoeless wonder, Claves there at the rim. There, he couldn't even get lift. He's scoring all the points and making all the plays. Did you see the three there? And he's the guy who has the shoe issues.
Yeah, but think about it. He could probably play in his slippers, couldn't he, actually, Lance? I mean, the fact is you've got a lace undone. Get your slippers on. You'd probably be, you know, more agile, and you won't have to worry about laces.
Clearly, he doesn't need them in this game, considering the way he was guarded. And you mentioned buttons being pushed. That's exactly what Petro de Luanda did. I mean, when you think about it, they were around the 2-3 points, kind of tied, and then all of a sudden the shoe has an issue and they go haywire offensively with a 7-point lead here early. Coach Major has his work cut out. This is a very good Petro team in spite of what happened yesterday in the loss to Zamalek. And they can blow this thing out. It's a veteran group who has a lot of pride on the line here, as you talked about leading into the show with this poetry that you put on the line. And the Patriots better get their act together, and they better do it soon, or this could be a rout here in the first half.
You don't want to see a Rwandan rout here, not today. I think that they've got to show a little bit of a spark out here and produce the fireworks that we know they're capable of doing. Gasana, he's been a key figure in this Rwandan team. Prince eBay, all of these guys, and they managed to get through to the semi. So they're doing something right as they miss out on more points. Dundao trying to get past that man. Jean-Jacques doesn't find the score. 10-3 still, but Gasana has the ball in his hands, and they'll try and reel that lead back in.
Yeah, Goncalves with the nice block there on the defensive possession. He and Pedro seem to be involved in just about every play at this point.
Well, that's no call, actually, on Paolo, despite the fact that he knocked Gasana off his feet. The momentum took him through him, basically.
Yeah, much bigger player, but Gasana made a good play, allowing his defense to get back and stop the easy, fast break possibility.
Here's our Kenyan shooter, of course, one of the big guys in this Patriots team, missing out despite the pivot and shot, but the foul has been committed.
Yeah, you just don't know what this start has to do with. Is it Petro and them enforcing their will, Robbie, or is it the quick turnaround and the heavy legs, possibly you having to get back and get yourself up and going quickly from playing a game less than 24 hours ago?
Well, there's an attempt for 2 points mid-range, comes to nothing there. Shot coming in from Didi. There's one thing that we need to look at, and you know, I don't want to really highlight the fact, but Petro and Coach Neto might say, we've just played 24 hours ago. We need to get a very fast start, get some points on the scoreboard as early as possible, because we've got some guys who are a little bit older than the other players in the Patriots team, and recovery and recuperation is not going to be as easy. Might be an element to discuss.
Yeah, that is a good point. And then also the bench, and the use of the bench early and quickly. And last night they had 27 points come from there. They may need a little more today, to your point, because of the age factor with this ball club, the maturity factor, as well as the having played last night.
There's Dundao getting the ball out to Paolo, who's 35 years of age, of course, so one of the more experienced players in this squad. Carlos Moraes, 34. I think we've got also Cipriano, 39.
Yep. The core. I think you call them the older guys.
No, I don't. You keep on saying that.
You did?
Get into trouble.
Okay.
These guys are just experienced.
Exactly. They are experienced, and the core.
They're core. They are core.
The core, not dec. They are decor, but they're also decor too. This Paolo misses. How does Dundao get that? Yeah, you're calling them, now you're calling them decor.
I'm not calling them
which
decor.
Works. You love these words that work both ways.
Well, that was trying a reverse basket. You don't get points if you chuck it up underneath and out through the basket. It has to go from the top. Sorry, I'm just being silly now. But 10 points to 3. No score in the last couple of moments, and we're approaching the 5-minute mark. And the ball back in the hands of Gasana. They've stalled the scoring trail for the last couple of minutes, but they still haven't managed to put a few points on the scoreboard themselves.
Well, no one has actually, after that timeout, Petro, or before they had the little run, but since then, both teams cold. Petro still with the 7-point lead.
Here is Sagamba, but I'm afraid that little loss of focus there, and they give the ball back to Petro. But I think we've got our first little break, though, and we'll be back just in a moment or two. Petro de Luanda 10, Patriots 3. 10 points for Petro de Luanda, 3 for Patriots, and 4:50 to go. Let's hear from Asha.
Well, yes, Robbie, it's interesting to know that the fast points of this game for both teams were scored by players that played at the 2016 FIBA Under-18 African Championships here in Kigali, about 300 meters from the Kigali Arena. So Jean-Jacques, your favorite one, Wilson, Yosenumukiza, and Childe Dundao, both players were told when they were very young that they're too small to play basketball, but here they are on the big stage playing at the BAL.
It's amazing, isn't it? And that's just giving me goosebumps, that Asha, because you know, there's a place for everybody in basketball. So for all of anybody who's watching, if anybody tells you you're too small, don't listen to them and say, I'll prove you wrong, because we've seen small players who have produced incredible careers, you know, in time. So that's a very good point, Asha, and all credit to these guys, because they play magnificent ball, and we applaud them.
Yeah, and their general manager in Bonga for Petro, he talked about Dundao and his importance not only to this team now, but also the future in terms of where they're going. As we've talked about so many times, they have the core in place as Kaji comes on for the Patriots. But this young man, Dundao, is a big part of their future.
No, amazing. And he's already got those points, as you said, 2 3-pointers, which means that he's got a variety of tricks up his sleeve, which is exactly what you need if you want to play on the big stage. Here is a chance. Gasana getting the ball out. Oh, it's been dropped in. Perfectly done so as well, as the Patriots take those points through Kaji.
Well, that's a positive for the Patriots to get that production off the bench. They're going to need a collective and collaborative effort as they continue to allow Paolo to shoot jump shots and try to figure out how to score. But you've got to guard him around the basket. The big fella, the mature fella, the experienced fella, as Robbie calls him, knows how to move without the ball.
Yeah, wonderful pass there from Gonsalves as well, you know, just to bring him in. He made the move himself, so, you know, great play as we see the 3-pointer just coming back off the metal. The rebound picked up by the Patriots, which is good stuff as well. Kaji doing the business. It's been knocked out. It'll be Patriots ball. Wonderful pass there from Gonsalves into the path of the veteran who knew exactly where to go. He stormed through, took the pass. It was an easy layup. The defender wasn't even looking to see where he was.
Yeah, hard basket cut is exactly what he made, and Gonsalves, as you said, did the right thing. As the big fella Costner continues to miss and search for easy threes.
I think Pedro is really good, isn't he? Look at the footwork there. That wasn't easy. He basically came to a standstill, used the momentum to pivot him around and then score the 2.
Oh, man, there you go, man. There's someone I know who's awake right away, regardless of what the score is here in the first quarter.
Oh, we got to involve Mo as much as we can as we look at Gasana dropping in from high above the skyline. 14-8, and a beautiful 3 there for the main man.
Yeah, that was length, and there is a big size difference. We talked about Dundao earlier, but Gasana has about 4 or 5 inches on the little fella as he thinks he got pushed. He's getting knocked around a little bit, and that is just one of the unfortunate things you have to deal with when you're that size and or weight on a floor with a bunch of grown men, Robbie.
Oh no, we're going to talk about gravity a lot today, I think, lads, you know, and players who can defy gravity. When we're looking at Dundao, at least he's closer to the floor than some of those big guys, because when the units hit the deck, you know, the earth does move.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So there are some benefits to being a little guy.
There is, yeah. I can tell you all about that. Here we go. Dundao out for another three. I don't believe it. This is an awesome play here for the playmaker. And he's already, well, he's knocking on the door of 10 points, isn't he? 9 so far.
Well, yeah, he's about to kick it down if the Patriots don't get in front of him. He's found a rhythm.
But he needs a little bit of assistance here because they're still trailing by 7. And shots like that, you've got to nail them. You've got to get them in. You've got to get that bucket. Confirmation of the 9 points as we see another charge and a fierce drive from Petro as they go and just drop in another few points. Brilliant stuff.
Yeah, and that was Dundao too. He didn't make the basket. Moraes ran and he found him because he pushed the tempo.
Moraes very seasoned individual as well, as the Patriots miss out on 3, get the ball back. Gasana, he's got Costner out to the right-hand side. He goes for 3 himself. Off the metal it goes, picked up by Dundao. Look at the acceleration from the youngster. He teases the defense in a big way.
Yeah, and Sagamba doing a good job of getting back, but they swing it to Moraes, who knocks down a 3. They're raining threes right now. It is literally a 3-party. They are just coming down in the building. There it is for Moraes, one of the core guys. Here's another one, or another look at it.
That was downtown, wasn't it? That was.
You better guard them because they've heated up. Literally, I like it. I like it. You are the word guy.
We got it.
You cleaned it up. Literally.
There we go. That's it. So we are getting trees for every 3 points that are scored. And the 3-pointers, we are loving it. We are just sucking it up because we know that the oxygen is good. Yay! There it is.
There you go.
Tell us about it, lads. Come on.
Your favorite part of the game, 3s for trees. Every time a 3-pointer is made, 3 trees go up. And I tell you what, not only that, new words are being created. That's Sliman, who you'll see in the next game, as he's arguably the best, one of the best 3-point shooters here in this competition. But to build off of Mr. Robbie, my partner, the Minister of Sport in the house, as well as Mr. Williams, Victor Williams, who leads the NBA Africa. But as we create words, this is tremendous as we look at Commissioner Deputy Mark Tatum, who came all the way from the U.S. And yesterday, Mark, he was so excited. He got me even more excited. So he's here early, checking scores, still working back in the States, taking a break with this timeout.
Listening to you.
Listening to me. And then, but you know what?
Tell me.
I got another word. You said literally. This is tremendous as well. So as we are back.
You guys are getting so much momentum that it's motivating me. Here we go. The boys pushing forward. The Patriots on the edge of the perimeter. Gasana picks it up to the big man Costner. Lovely little turn. That is sublime. It was a two move, if you like. You know, boom, boom, in.
Yeah, that's a turnaround jumper over towards the baseline. And he was chasing 3s before that. That looked like it was a little more in his wheelhouse.
I love the sound of it. Is brilliant. Gasana with the turnover here. Great opportunity here for 2. Oh, the foul was committed by Dundao.
Yeah, Dundao did everything he could to break that up and foul the guard, Gasana, who got the steal here. There you see him playing the passing lane. Say that 3 times fast.
Playing the passing lane, playing the passing lane, playing the passing lane. 1, 2, 3. 22-12. We got a 10-point lead, and Gasana looking to try and, as I said, just bring it down underneath the double digits, watched on by Coach Neto, the Brazilian at the helm. He's got a fitness coach, of course, works alongside him, who's been with him for the last 3 years to explain just why he is racked in the way that he is.
Yeah, and we talked about it with him yesterday, as you remember. I mean, how do you keep yourself in that shape? He said most of his career, in the last 12 to 15 years, he's had his guy right on his hip, to keep that beautiful
toned body. That's
exactly.
Some people are just that lucky, aren't they, Lance?
That's exactly right.
There we go, the ball coming out, and there's a chance for Moraes. Picked up by Costner. Under a little bit of pressure. Bit of man-to-man marking here from Petro as the ball comes out wide. It's a chance for them to try and drive in. That is really nice driving as well, trying to keep the ball away from the defender, but the foul was committed, so Petro will concede the foul through that man, Lionel Paulo.
Yeah, and that's Mugabe at the free throw line. That young man, he can really shoot it extremely well. Didn't play a whole lot of minutes, as you talked about last night. And there were some questions about that. And Coach Major had to make some lineup adjustments as there's a different call than the one we thought.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
okay, so we go the other way. Maybe an offensive foul.
Well, listen, I mean, you know, these guys, that's the last shot of the half of the quarter, of course, 22-14. So back to 8 for the Patriots. That's where they want to be. They don't want to get double figures behind, but they've got a bit of work to do. I'm sure that Alan Major will have a good little talk with his players to try and get them to understand what's going on and make arrangements to sort that out. Petro lead Patriots 22-14.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
That's right. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Are you welcoming me back, or I'm welcoming you? I'm welcoming all of the fans around the world back.
Oh, yeah. That's a different matter, isn't it?
Yeah, well, yeah,
that's
they're very important.
Matter.
They're extremely
really
important to you, to me, to the BAL.
You're right.
And to so many more. But I think Usher also needs to be welcomed back as well as we have this conversation. We can continue. Usher, do you have something for us?
Well, thank you very much for welcoming me back, gentlemen. Thank you. You know, just to say how important it is to see the Patriots playing on the final day of the BAL. They would have loved to be in the final, but that they are still here in contention for a podium place means so much to the young kids who are watching on television, but also really for their fans. And obviously speaking recently to their president, Brian Kirungi, who was saying this means so much for them. They can build on from now, and eventually it could help the national team.
Well, listen, I think that's a good point, and I think that, you know, the fact that they rally all together and the fans have come in and there's been a lot of attention around this competition. They must be so proud to host, you know, the first ever Basketball Africa League. Thank you, Usher. We're loving it, and I think that they are loving it so much as well. You can see the smiles on the faces. You know, they're having a good time. This is, you know, a profession. The team has been going since, what, 2014? So the whole country is really embracing this magical moment, and a magical moment, not just that, but also they're rewriting history with a new chapter in basketball here in their beautiful country.
Yeah, and I think the BAL did a phenomenal job, too, with what's on every jersey, which is Visit Rwanda. I second that. I mean, it's been a magical place in terms of the reception of the people. As you mentioned, it's beautiful countryside. We get to see it. We're in the bubble, but we can see it, and we see the people in the community. It's as clean as a whistle, and it is just a phenomenal place. So this has been incredible, not only for the continent and the world, but especially for the people of Rwanda and the reception that all the players of Africa have gotten who come here to play and compete.
Yeah, and the fans are getting behind the team as well. The Patriots pick up the ball. We got some fans just behind us who are making some noise, which is wonderful. Of course, they have to pass, they have to have negative PCR tests just to actually get into the arena. So all of the doctors and all of the medical health workers have been doing an extraordinary job to make sure that everything is you know, anti-COVID, if you like, you know, within the bubble and within the perimeter. Here we go for Vander for three. Vander dropping in a trio of points there to make it 27-14. It's up to Alan Major and his men to march back into this third-place playoff.
And this is a little bit of a different big look, if you will, for Petro. As Costner knocks down the top of the key jump shot. I don't have my tape measure out yet, Robbie, so I won't give you the footage. I'll just say where it was taken from.
We'll go for estimations at the moment, but that was just awesome there from Carlos Moraes, who really is, well, a fine long-range shooter we've seen since the start of the competition. We've got a few of them on both sides of the court, in fact. Carlos Moraes, of course, Cipriano. Mugabe going for three from out wide. The ball comes back out. Costner trying to go for the double. Oh, that is fantastic. That's 6 points in the last 2 plays for the big man. And the Patriots reeling in that lead, but it's still at 11. But whatever you can do.
I can do better, but not only that, how about not a lot of defense from Costner on this other end? Spaced Vander, who can knock down that shot. He's got to give him a little more pressure than what he did there on the defensive end. Costner, that is.
Well, this time it just comes back off the rim and picked up by Petro. Ball comes out to Moraes. Down in the corner it goes. Richards for three. And a splendid treble there. Just in exactly the identical place as Carlos Moraes. Timeout it is for the Patriots, which makes complete and utter sense. They need to go and have a little look at what they've been doing or what they've not been doing.
Well, you switch up the ingredients and you really do a lot to the palette of scoring, not the other palette.
Wasn't
the one you're thinking. I'm talking about the palette of scoring, meaning different people, sorry to step on you, pal, but different people here can score with this lineup. And again, part of those ingredients, not only Antoine Scott, but the bigs, Vander and Richards, they offer a whole different dynamic to this team and just show how good they can be all the way through the depth of the bench. Something you pointed out early, Robbie.
Absolutely. Here we go with Bush trying to go up for a pair of points underneath the basketball net, but unfortunately couldn't rise up and produce those points. Vander probably goes for his three and he knocks it down, and that's another big three-pointer. And in fact, when you look at the threes, I mean, you know, there's already been half a forest that's been planted just with 7 minutes to go in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to run out of trees to plant here in a minute, but hey, how about that? Costner goes to the bench as John Jay takes the drive all the way to the basket and misses. Scott back to Vander, who's hot as fire. Whoa, I feel heat over here. There are more trees, threes and trees that are going up as we speak, Robbie. But Costner goes to the bench, obviously for defensive purposes. Bush is on. They're fairly small, the Patriots, and they can't find anyone to guard these bigs as Scott gets the turnover and the block.
Very good block as well. The ball comes back out to Gasana, comes out wide. There's Mugabe back into the middle. He's such a slick passer as well, but they need to get the points. Bush unable to take the rebound. That's really good work there to get hold of the ball once again. And a great, it's a two-point shot, that is from Mugabe, but it doesn't matter. The fact that they're scoring points is important.
Yeah, it is important. What's more important is to get a stop, because they've turned this into an exchange program where they're not getting anything. They're only giving up baskets right now. So they have a lot of work to do, down 19 points here.
Yeah, been given a little bit of space, I think, just outside of the perimeter to get the chance to just find that moment, lock in on the targets, and get themselves, you know, those long-range shots.
Well, the defense has just been really poor on this end of the floor. The Patriots have given way too much space for these bigs, and they're just in target practice.
Yeah, and there's another two there. Lovely little hook in there coming from that man Vander, who's been on fire. He's already reached double figures, I believe, for Petro. Here's Gasana, chucking the ball wildly, trying to find Bush, in fact, but Vander getting in the way.
Well, you'll see Ibe comes back on for Kaji. There's too many size issues for the Patriots, so adding Ibe back to the court, maybe they can get a little more resistance on the defensive end.
Yeah, it's a good five that they've got on, and when you land a three-pointer like that, you know that things can start to work in your favor. It's a good five, this is, if you actually look who they've got on with Mugabe as well. Prince Ibe, Bush,
No help coming. He's got him in isolation. eBay finally cools off Vander.
Yeah, that's right. Getting the ice out, very important. Well, there's a charging call against Mugabe. He's got a lot of aggressivity inside of him, but that call, a little bit unlucky.
Yeah, it was. I mean, you got to allow the offensive player, I think, to create a little separation in this world of social distancing. Wow, he should at least be able to create a little bit of space there, Robbie.
Social distance, absolutely. Richards still will get the ball back, of course. A little bit of a tight marking there, with social distancing respected, of course, with Bush. No love lost, though. They're just trying to keep each other's distance, and is a chance for the long-range effort there, just coming back off the ring from Scott.
Antoine Scott missed a three-ball. Dede back into the front court as Mugabe comes off the screen of eBay and gets it into Gasana. He's got two on him. Look at that double team. They want that shot coming from somewhere else.
Oh, that was Diddy unable to get the 3 points back into the hands of Gasana. He's good there, isn't he? That's a beautiful range. He loves the long distance shots, and he nails the three.
Yeah, not only is he good, the best time to shoot that ball is right after an offensive rebound. Did a good job of not letting the defense get itself reset, Robbie.
Yeah, getting itself reorganized, of course, takes a couple of seconds, and they have to look around, and by that time it's already been jammed down inside of the net.
That's exactly right. That's why you want to close out defensive possessions with a rebound, because you really don't have the time defensively to organize things. Things will be a bit scrambled. We're going to take a little bit of a break.
Petro Luanda 43, Patriots 28. A good little spell here for the Rwandan team as they just rally back to 15. Asha, can you give us your thoughts?
Well, I'm surprised at how Joachim is shooting today and wondering where was he yesterday. Yesterday was the big one for them. Today he's coming with this great attitude. Yesterday he looked very unbothered, but either way, very good to see Petro getting into their mojo.
No, absolutely, and it's a good point. When you look at what he can bring to a game, you realize that he is one of the the Class A players that you expect to show up on the big day. The big day was yesterday, of course. Now this is for a third place on the podium, which is still big. But when you don't have players who are capable of putting in 100%, you ask yourself questions, right? And you say, well, why weren't they there? What was missing? Where was their mindset and everything? It's complicated to play your A game right through a competition. 6 games, potentially.
The other thing you can't forget about that, Robbie, is there were opponents. Zamalek and Monastir are much different in terms of what they bring on the defensive end, the offensive end. Not only that, the personnel is different, so to expect to have that level of a game or this level of a game all the way through the competition is quite difficult.
Yeah, no, it's a fair point. Players can have exceptional games against a certain team who play different tactics, and then all of a sudden they come up against the kings of the Nile, and then all of a sudden it's a different game. You can get extracted from the equation. You have a poor game, you spend half of the time on the bench because you're being outplayed by someone who's out wrestling you, and then afterwards, what can you do? You drop your head a little bit because you're not getting game time, but that's just the way it is. That's the professional game.
Yeah, to that point, I mean, Zamalek came into this competition in the playoffs giving up only 60 points as Vander that's poor defense, just walked right down the lane. He walked down the lane at a snail's pace or dribbled down the lane, and no one came to rotate. eBay not in front of him, but Zamalek only gave up about 60 points on the give and go, but Mugabe hits Bush for the easy finish there. But anyway, Robbie, they give up 60 points a game, which is pretty impressive. To put that in context, Petro is only 13 from that now against a Patriots ball club. So the level of tension is different, and also the intensity of the defense and how it's played is different.
Here's Rwanda trying to go for a three, but a bit of an air ball. Didn't get the distance on that occasion. He obviously didn't have your tape measure in his pocket on that occasion, Lance, as Kisana goes on a wily run underneath the basket, back up, and a chance for that man, Jean-Jacques. Sorry, it's Didi, isn't it, to find the score there, 47-32.
Yeah, they got a lot of work to go. And you talk about the tape measure and Vander not having it, as people keep getting driving lanes on either side of the floor. But Vander didn't have that tape measure because eBay did. He got a hand up and contested a shot, unlike many before, which is why Vander's been in a groove here all first quarter.
Yeah, it's been confiscated by each player. They're all getting the tape measure, but not everybody has it at the same time.
That's exactly right. Getting passed around from offense to defense. This guy misses his shot. He didn't have it either at the time.
There's the chance for two, and once again, it's an opportunity missed there, as you can see. Prince eBay unable to deliver. 47-32, 15-point game. They need to scramble back. 2 minutes to go before the end of the first half, and it's all about Patriots really to damage limitation at the end of the day, and I think that's really important. They've got to work harder, and it's fascinating watching coaches on the side. You know, I'm just wondering how much of that information is actually heard by the players when they're actually running around trying to do their thing.
Well, they hear the information. It's a great point and or question, Robbie, that you asked. They're hearing all the information, but there is a lot going on in a game like this. Obviously, you're playing to get yourself a third place finish. You're also got the fatigue factor that's going on. There's mind, body, spirit. There's a synergy with your other teammates. So the coach calls a timeout. It's a good timeout, particularly right now for the Patriots, because they're in a position, and we've talked about it before, to either create or stop momentum going into this half. And I guarantee there will be some push between now and the end of the game, a hard push to get that third place spot. That would really, in my estimation, be the cherry on top for these Patriots who are playing at home in front of the home fans.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Well, there is Vander. He's been the top player. We can see some of his action here as the ball comes back out. He's got loads of time. He just unleashes the perfect three-pointer from downtown. The goose neck is there, the way that you described it. 15 points, like three from three in the 3 points department. I think Dundau's up there as well with the same stats, if I'm correct. But Vander back in possession here, and Petro controlling this. They've got the finger on the pulse of this game for the time being. Let's see how Richards gets on. He's delivered there, and that was a 2-point because he just went over into the arc the moment that he made his shot. But 2 points is better than nothing. Yeah.
Well, and then he wanted a foul there as he got hit shooting that three, and then the travel was called as the pressure mounts.
Yeah, you've really got to try and erase those errors, you know, in your game, because, you know, in the middle of the court, you've got to just be a little bit more slicker and make sure that things don't happen like that, because giving the ball back to your opponents, you know, when you trail by so many, is not the ideal scenario.
Well, and not only that, it's the confidence that they get as Dominguez finds another wide open Vander. Yeah, he goosenecked that. He repped it and threed it down to the floor. He's feeling pretty good. And by the way, there's a lot on the line here. There's, you know, a pot of gold, if you will, as Dede makes his own three. So it's not like they aren't playing for anything. There's a lot at stake with this game, just beyond finishing in third place.
A lot of stake.
A lot at stake.
Oh, okay, a lot of stake. I thought I heard.
There's a lot of stake.
Okay. Sorry about that.
Okay, that's called a spin. Not as in a DJ, a spin master here. Okay, as eBay gets the rebound, and Antoine Scott goes the other way.
Oh, that's a lovely. Ooh, well.
It was a steal by Dede, and then there'll be a free throws.
It's great hands, isn't it? You know, the way that he sort of, you know, just hid the baby away from him, you know, and then moved forward. Beautiful. But this is the three-pointer coming in from out wide. Excellent there from Didi, and then, of course, Vander producing that sensational, look at that, that is top notch, isn't it, from Vander. He is living the dream, isn't he, the big man. Played some basketball in France, played in Argentina as well. And you can see that he's, you know, plenty of charisma and a good player when he wants to play.
He can, obviously, he's like a stretch big. You can also post him up, but he's really good facing the basket, especially when he's got dang near all day long to line it up and knock the shot down. And now he's extremely confident, and he's doing a great job for Petro in extending this lead as they get closer to the end of the half with only 8 seconds to go on the shot clock.
Here's Sagamba trying to find some support here, has the assist, and there's Bush trying to knock in the three, but it's come back off the metal, flicked away. It's going to be ball for the Patriots with the last 24 seconds remaining. 14 on the shot clock for this little play, so there'll be 2 plays before the end of the half. Cassano on the bench there, calling out the shots to his teammates.
Saganga with the nice wraparound, gets it back to Mugabe, who's Dede for the wide open three, and they get another rebound.
And there is a foul. You can see that's coming in over on that far side from Antoine Scott. A couple of opportunities, some good slick passing there, I must admit.
Yeah,
look what Bush,
everyone was looking for a little bit better shot than the one they had. Ended up working in their favor as they'll actually get another crack at an offensive possession, Robbie.
Yeah, Sadar Sagamba, the 30-year-old from South Kivu. Kivu being the wonderful lake in the west of Kigali. Oh, there's a chance that's gone missed there from Kostner. Taken up court there. Nice little move from Phillips. And there's an attempt for 3 coming off the metal. That's the end of the half. 53 points to 37. Petro Luanda in the driving seat here, cruising. Patriots finding it complicated to get back into this one. Third place playoff here in Kigali, here in their own backyard, of course, as we see the final shot not go in. They've got work to do, but they've got a very fine coach who will try and offer his words of wisdom and try and find the right remedy for, well, this ailment, which, of course, is, well, just hurting them a little bit.
Oh, yes, it is. And there's just been a wave of players who have done well, and particularly Vander, who leads all scorers with 18 here in the first half. Robbie, they're going to need a lot more production. The Patriots are. Most importantly, though, the defense is ugly. We're going to take a break. We'll be back in about 15.
Welcome back to the Kigali Arena here in Rwanda. We're happy to be back. We're, of course, starting the second half, 53-37. This is the battle for third place here at the Basketball Africa League. Petro de Luanda of Angola are leading by 16 over the Patriots, the home team from this wonderful country of Rwanda. And we are going to go across to Usher.
Yes, Robbie, it is a beautiful day here in Kigali, and just speaking to some of the Patriots fans here in the stands, they're excited to see the brand that is Patriots and how far this team has come, but also really that it represents the people of Rwanda, the character. When you look at the players, they just speak about resilience, and that's a beautiful thing to see.
Vander has been on fire as he tries to drop down 3. This is extraordinary stuff. It really is a team effort here, as you can see. Vander just knocking in another 3, and I think that he's hit. Is it 5 threes from 5? I think it's absolutely extraordinary. This man is on fire. It's probably because he didn't get called up. He wasn't in the starting 5. Didn't get much game time in the semi-final.
Yeah, and Robbie, I vehemently, for the first time, grossly disagree with you. This is a Vander effort. I don't see a team effort at all. I see one man carrying the offensive load. Robbie, he's got 21 of their 56 points, and I don't see another player in double figures. He is the man of the hour in Rwanda at this moment right now.
No, definitely. It's wonderful what we're seeing here. It really is. And as you can see, there's another free throw effort here, and Petro very much in command, pushing their lead once again right from the start. And there we can see the ball coming out to the big man as he just well, sets his sights, drops it in effortlessly in a remarkable fashion. The guy is on fire.
He is. He's on fire. And Robbie's only missed 2 shots, and those were from inside the arc. He's 5 for 5 from outside the arc. This is in large part his hard work, his doing, no question. You can't take it away from him as Gonçalves misses his free throws, but also eBay has to stay close to him. You got to stay attached. If you don't, you're going to be looking at 2 points.
Whoa, Johnny Petro getting the ball back out. Vander, surely not. Oh, on this occasion, that's a rare miss for the big man. The ball comes back out. You can see that there's an opportunity here. Dundao has the ball knocked out. They get the ball back. And I spoke to, very briefly, Ryan Richards just just before they got back on court. And I said, what did he have for breakfast, that big man, Vander? He said, you don't want to know. You don't want to know. I guess it's like sort of, just a handful of eggs, and he just like said, right, okay, let's get the protein, let's get it all in there, and let's get the energy levels high. Probably a massive bowl of fruit, you're good to go.
Exactly. He probably also gave eBay something not to get too close to him today, or any of those bigs. It just seems that every time you look up, he's open as Dede has a little heat check of his own. And I'll clean this up as Robbie laughs and closes it to 15. Dede with the nice 3.
They've got to go for it, haven't they? Pedro getting the ball out to Moraes. Well, that's a mistake there, and he puts his hand up to say, sorry, man. It didn't go in the direction that I wanted it to go. It's as simple as that.
No, there's Dede's 3. Yeah, and the reason he threw that ball out of bounds, I got to give it back to eBay. He closed the passing lane with that mitts that he has at the end of those long arms of his. There was nowhere for Moraes to throw it. He threw it out of bounds instead of having a live ball turnover.
Crikey. It's interesting already as you see Patriots responding quite quickly. They know that they've got no choice in the matter, and if they want to really front up against Vander and his boys, then obviously they've got to be clinical, they've got to be methodical, and they've got to work together, because I think that you're not going to have one individual player who's going to stand out from the crowd, I don't think, in this Patriots team. I think you've got a team that really need to work hard as a unit, and the unit is going to be vital. We're going to go and have a little chat potentially with Usher. Usher, what have you got for us?
Well, it's very interesting to know that both these teams are in the same Group A in the FIBA AfroBasket 2021 that will take place here in Rwanda in August from the 24th to September 5th. So most of these players, 70% of Patriots and 70% of Petro de Luanda, will be back here on the same courts.
Yeah, that's just fantastic. It is Group A, and we're really looking forward to that, of course. Yeah, that's going to be fantastic. We're looking ahead to another competition that's going to be here, because a lot of the national team players are in these teams here, of course, the 12 teams that qualified originally. So, yeah, there's Nigeria are going to get some quality players, and their ranked Senegal will be up there as well as a 3-point missed efforts. The rebound picked up for the Patriots. Some extraordinary talent on show here in Kigali come August, September.
Yeah, and I'm glad Usher brought that up, because to me, Rwanda, Kigali in particular, in Rwanda, has become kind of a basketball hotbed, if you will, for the continent. A lot of competitions coming through here. I even know that you talked about Masai Ujiri. He came here. He has his program, Giants of Africa, where he came here and did some things with the president and others around Rwanda, and obviously Amadou Gallo Fall bringing the BAL here for this championship. So this is a stopping point, if you will, for basketball. It's in some ways it's reminiscent, or reminds me of back home in Vegas, because there's a lot of activity through the summer with AAU. The NBA has Summer League there, and there's competitions always going through Vegas. There will be this summer as teams prepare to go to the Olympics, assuming they happen. But Kigali, Rwanda has turned into that for Africa.
Absolutely, and you know, it's right in a very good position as well, of course. Sub-Sahara right in the middle, of course, so you can come up from South Africa, Angola, you're not too far away, and West Africa's not too far away as well, so I think it's absolutely ideal, so well positioned, and a great country to come and visit, because you can go from Huye in the south, you know, and Budare, all the way up to Kivu and Gisenyi, right across to the east to the national parks, of course, on the border of Uganda, and back here to Kigali, and there's everything you could possibly imagine.
I've learned that in being here. It's kind of cool. I know it's considered East Africa, but it's almost like a bridge between Central and East, and it has some cool countries. As Moraes hits the nice bank shot, but it's got some great places connected to it. You've been to some of them, obviously Congo, in spite of the volcanic issues, as well as Usher's home, Uganda, and others that are very near Rwanda.
Yeah, Burundi in the south. I mean, you know, that's it's remarkable. That's a wonderful three-point. Look at Dundao. He is just delivering on the day, isn't it? A five-star service there for the young playmaker, who gets a high five from Vanda, and a timeout has been called. 59, 61, 62 now. Of course, it's a 20-point difference, and of course, the coach of the Patriots, Alan Major, calling a timeout because they need to go and reassess the situation and find solutions, which is not easy when you've got, well, pretty much everybody on the court, but also on the bench coming on and scoring vital points.
It feels like a last gasp effort. It's at that last push from the Patriots side. They've certainly overachieved in every way and went further than anyone would have thought. But this mountain, the Petro de Luanda mountain, may be just a bit too precipitous, if you will, for these guys to get over. And if that's the case, it is what it is. You can't hang your hat because you did make it to the Final Four of the BAL title. But right now, it just looks like an onslaught of people knocking down shots as the fans wave and try to figure this out and help their Patriots.
Yeah, it's turning into quite a complicated scenario. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, I think that they're enjoying themselves. I think there's some fun that's been taking place out there. Of course, a little bit difficult if they look up behind the judges, of course, and the stats people. We can see that there's the trophy up there, which is absolutely incredible, and in the shape of a baobab tree. And I can tell you that, well, we'll start to look at that a little bit more as the afternoon goes on, Lance, because Zamalek, US Monastir, that's the final. That will tip off at 4 o'clock local time, so that's what, 2 hours and 19 minutes. We are so much looking forward to that. It's a battle of North Africa between two basketball powerhouses. And then we can see Dundao going off. There is the trophy that I'm referring to. How glorious does it look? This is the first ever, and we'll find the new owners of that trophy, as I said, in a few hours' time. Back on court, let's see exactly what they're doing. Moraes just drops it in effortlessly once again as Petro finds solutions from downtown, well, across the border. And a charge foul for Moraes coming into Gassana. Hands up. He knows what he did. A little bit frustrated with himself.
VP Manu Plunge. I love how he talked about that trophy and the thought that went into it when they created it. Robbie, he talked about that tree and it being basically timeless, and the trees being thousands of years old. And Amadou Gallo Fall, the commissioner, talked about the tree representing a lot of the ideals of the BAL and hoping that it would last long after many of the leadership and the people who have created this league, which I just think is really cool as we look at Moraes. He's committed his third foul, but it's not just a trophy. They just didn't go baobab tree, let's do it. They thought about it and what that tree represents as it relates to Africa.
Yeah, that's it's very symbolic, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Lance, as you said. And as we see Dundawi really does have plenty of zip about him as he dances down that left side, tries to get rid of Mugabe, who's a difficult defender to deal with. Paolo using the experience, but the ball's gone back over, and they will get possession back, of course, the Patriots, 65-42. And
they're going to take another timeout in the break as things don't get much better. Petro up 65-42 over the Patriots.
4:37 to go in the third quarter, 65-42. It's Petro de Luanda who are trying to, who are being a bit bullish. There's Vander, who's been looking at the points in a big way, 21 points, of course. Asha, what have you got for us?
Well, it's very interesting to see that Petro are trying to complete this one very early on and not wait until the last quarter. They're looking good, but the Patriots also trying to fight, keep that sense of pride, you know, for the country of Rwanda.
Yeah, no, absolutely, very important, and you know, just to finish on a high. Of course, we've seen the president who has been here with the First Lady of Rwanda. It really has been a royal affair in many ways in terms of basketball people involved, and which is absolutely fantastic, and we applaud that, because I think that everybody's just really come together, embraced this competition, as we see Prince Ibe going up for the slam, and he does the damage there. 2 points, of course, and well, any points are good at this time, and he gets the free throw as well.
Yeah, chance to cut it to 20 points, but that is true. I mean, the representation here at this event has just been incredible. I mean, you had global leadership here, and the energy has been incredible, as you call it. Basketball royalty, Kembe Mutombo, Masai, Ujiri,
French president.
French president. I mean, it's just been unbelievable, and he brought well over 30-40 people with him as part of his delegation. So this BAL has just been phenomenal. I've gotten a lot of text messages from friends who are part of the NBA overseas, and they've been blown away and impressed. I'll talk to you about some of that later. Some have said, man, who's your wingman? That guy's really good. The energy that he brings, I want some of that.
That's nice.
Yeah, coaches and players and otherwise have just been watching this basketball and these productions from around the world. So it's just been a great experience, and this game may not be going the way the Patriots want. They have nothing to be sad about, considering where they got with all the teams that were a part of this leading up to this point.
Very much so, as we see Gassana trying to pick up the pair of points. That's a good rebound, that is, from Prince Ibe to make it 46, so 21 difference here. And also we had the FIBA Africa Executive Director, I think Alphonse Bail, who is here, as well as the FIBA Central Board member Jean-Michel Ramorson, working alongside President Amadou Gallo-Fall, of course. Very important, you know, to note that it's the BAL is also being shouldered and helped out with lots of different reasons and things that are making it what it is, with FIBA and of course NBA, which is brilliant. And the 3 points are just being drained in a big way as we move up to what, 70 points now, 24 difference.
Yeah, you've become, I mean, this team of people that the BAL put together, and even the support back in the States has just been phenomenal to watch it as D-Day misses the 18-footer there.
Patriots,
Bush, the easy finish slips out of his hands as he wipes them on his shorts.
Oh, he is just talismanic, isn't he? The giant Kenyan, of course, working his magic, playing some incredible basketball, and able to sink those two on that occasion. Here is Richards trying to take the ball decided not to go for the shot. Here he is out wide.
Shot clock, you better get it up.
It's got to go up. There it is, and it'll count if it goes in, but it's come off the metal. And a foiled attempt to try and put 2 more on the scoreboard. Gasana takes the ball up court. A little bit of support there from the big man Costner. Costner with the drive out wide. There's a chance for 3, and it just rattles the ring, comes back out from that man, Jean-Jacques.
Got a possession arrow where Petro will retain possession. Cipriano comes in.
You're not allowed to hide the ball underneath your top, you know that. Might get called out. Here we go, Petro on our right side. Richards. Once again, chance for... Oh, that's sensational, isn't it? Lionel Paolo just dropping in to say hello.
Yeah, say hello to my little friend, the three-pointer. But you know what's been fascinating to me about these games is Petro extends its lead 73-46, Robbie, is there really hasn't been anything questionable or controversial in terms of who the winner should be of each game. They're putting themselves in the right tiers of, okay, who's 4th, who's 3rd. It will be interesting to me as Gasana knocks down the first free throw to see how they tier this next game. And if there is clarity or there is a potential photo finish, which I'm expecting, but so far it's just been a clear line between 4, 3, and potentially 2 and 1. Well, we'll see coming up.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I thought you were going to go off and start talking with one of those funny accents that you like to, you know, to do once in a while. But no, Lance, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I don't know what you're saying. Richards with a fantastic 3 from downtown.
Yeah, funny accents. You know, that's an interesting perspective. Doesn't it depend on where you come from or whether the accent is funny, as you say?
Funny or not? No, because I can't even identify some of the accents you produce. So I'm just thinking, you know, you are just, you know, you're coming from out there. I love it. It's like sort of, who speaks? And no one can identify either. It's great.
You know what I love is how you can represent the world so easily, and that's because of tectonics and your ability to be out in spaces where Paolo finishes at the rim. You can know faces and spaces and what the world is thinking, and that's what's been cool about spending time with you, is you can take things to a whole nother level. Wow.
It's a fine sinking of 2 there, isn't it, from Domingos.
Domingos with the easy layup. Speaking of easy, this is turning into a full-on rout.
Yeah, we've got 30 now on the clock. Why don't they just start from scratch and just put them down to 0, and then we can just have a nice little quarter?
Yeah, that's fine. Just change the game in total and just start all over.
Rules would not allow that, but the idea is good anyway. But that's how we've got to look into it, because sometimes quarters are played and they're really tightly played out, and of course, looking back, you realize that, you know, the quarter before was obviously 30-5, so I mean, there's a 25-point difference. So anyway, I'm getting into something that's a little bit more complicated than maybe I should. Lovely attempt at 3, but unfortunately a little bit too close for comfort, and we will end this 3rd quarter on a little bit of madness coming out of my mouth. 80 points for Petro de Luanda, Patriots with 50, and well, it is a little bit of one-sided traffic to say the least, but the Patriots will not go out with a fight. So we will go for a break, and we'll be back for the final 4th quarter of this 3rd place playoff. Petro leading Patriots by 30. Here we go. We are back. We are back here in Kigali, the Basketball Africa League. This is the final quarter. We've got 5 more quarters remaining in this wonderful league before we call it a day for this edition 2021, the inaugural, of course. Petro Luanda trailing by 30 points, and we're going to hear from Usher with some intel. Usher.
Well, Robbie, This is quite an interesting game. I'm looking at the crowds and seeing how the Patriots fans are sitting together with the Petro de Luanda fans. Both of them, you know, enjoying the game and understanding what it means for their teams to be at this level. But most importantly, I'm seeing the Rwandan national team, the technical bench. They're here taking some notes and, you know, preparing for August for the AfroBasket.
It makes sense, doesn't it? I mean, you know, get some information, get ahead of the game. That's where you want to be. That's where you are always, Usher, ahead of the game. The human encyclopedia. She who delves into the chapters of African basketball history and pulls out the information. We applaud what you do, Usher. We really do. Lance Blanks is in the house. He is sat next to me in this hot seat. He is fired up, ready to go. We've got 5 quarters left, Lance. Little chance for the Patriots just to get one over in the final quarter. Probably not able to really reel in Petro, but just finish with their heads held very high.
Yeah, you want to finish respectably, especially in a game like this where this will be your last BAL game. Scott knocks down the 3. You certainly don't want to set a record for routes, and it's starting to get into that realm as they extend the lead. Petro does with 33 points, 83 to 50.
Well, it's remember they're a team that they didn't spend much time together, Petro Luanda, before they actually came here. So this is pretty impressive in itself. And it might be one of the reasons why they didn't manage to get through the semi-finals. But they really are turning it on here today, despite the fact that they played 2 games in the space of 24 hours.
Yeah, they've shown why they got to this point. Antoine Scott knocks down the 3 there, wide open. But a lot of this has been the defense. It's just been amazing to me how the younger team seemed to be a step or 2 slow. I mean, even Vander, who went off for 20 points in less than 3 full quarters, or 21 points in less than 3 full quarters, he often had no one near him when he shot those 3s. So I thought the team that had more experience and maturity might be a step slow, but they came out ready to compete and put it on the Patriots all day long as Richards misses the 3 ball.
And here Petro with Paolo getting the ball to Richards. Richards tightly marked. Watch there by Prince Ibe, loses the ball. Sana takes it up court, waits for a little bit of support. Prince Ibe with the screen, and the foul has been committed. You can just see that Paolo was a fault there, but the ball comes out. It'll be given back to the Patriots here with Gassana down the right side.
Gassana was hoping he could get to the free throw line there. Paolo knew he fouled, but made sure he did it on the floor. Domingos, they tried for the mismatch. He tries to guard Gassana.
Costner for 3, just rolling off the metal. Picked up and charging forward there, and it's just sumptuous. Domingos has done that before, and he's doing it again. These players are really enjoying themselves. You can just see that they get a little bit too much space, but once they do, they look really comfortable shooting from long range.
Well, he did what Gassana was trying to do to him. He took advantage of the matchup, no one guarding him.
Another fine 3 there coming in, of course. This time it's on the Patriots side with Didi doing the damage. Nice pass out to the left-hand side. Oh, just rolls back. Rebound picked up by Sigamba. Costner. And lost ball from Didi. And a chance for Paolo. There it is, another 2 points. It's a little bit loose at the moment, Lance. Kind of expected there'll be some fatigue, I imagine. You know, 7 minutes left in the 4th quarter. Still got to keep it tight, though, despite the fact that you've been running around in the last 24 hours in a much more high-octane encounter.
Yeah, you want to have, as Ibe makes the finish around the basket, you want to have a level of integrity, which I think both of these teams do in spite of the score. Integrity is about finishing the game and playing it the right way to close out, as Richards missed the turnaround fadeaway jump shot.
13 points for Richards. And the ball being picked up. Domingos once again. He's got a couple of players in front of him. Gets the ball back. Nice little passing game, but needs a little bit of assistance. The cavalry finally arrives and the shot goes in, but Scott can't find the three. 31 the difference. 6:10 left on the clock. Gasana up court, weaving, trying to find a bit of space. His long distance shot just misses the target once again. And the pace has dropped a little bit, Lance.
Yeah, guys are just because they're really playing for the end of the period as much as anything, given the score. Speaking of which, Powell, what's been the most fun for you through this experience in total? Obviously, it's been great basketball, great reception from great people, great country, great accommodations, great food, great laughter. I mean, I could go on and on and on. But for you, what's been the most fun?
The most fun, I mean, you know, you do all of your preparation, you know, ahead of the games and everything. The people have been extraordinary. I just like the, you know, the connection, you know, with yourself, but also with
Thank you.
with Q as well, going in the first week, because it was you know, we had different teams and working with Usher, and I just think that, you know, to be perfectly honest with you, it's been brilliant. It really has been top notch, because it's easy, you know, when it's easy to communicate, you do it so quickly, having had these teams put together quite, you know, without too much time, without knowing each other properly, in the broadcasting department. I think that it's magical, isn't it? It's magical. That's what it comes down to. It's the magic of just being able to slot in and work without any effort, and enjoying yourself, and also bringing something credible and beautiful to the people who are watching this from an incredible continent. And whenever I just think about the viewers looking all around the world, because you've got access everywhere, you know, in all of these far reaches of different countries, just, you know, watching the BAL and dreaming and enjoying it. So I think the partnership and the partnerships, and then just giving back, you know, something to those people. That's what's the magic for me.
Well, that was very heartfelt and well said. You gave me goosebumps, pal, talking about that, because the connection, I mean, I will have been here close to a month. I know you've been here, you know, several weeks yourself, and so I couldn't agree more, but the way you put that was pretty cool. So this memory of this, you know, as we close out or get to the second half of this fourth quarter, as Domingos knocks down yet another three. I mean, this will go up in the highlights or the Hall of Fame of my life of experiences, and you and the broadcast team and all of our support from our leadership is a big part of that. So thank you for sharing that, and I'm sure those around the world, as Dede gets his own rebound, but I'm sure those around the world hopefully have felt that in the broadcast of our brotherhood and sisterhood and kinship of bonding over these many days.
Oh, listen, I'm pretty sure about it, Lance. Thank you. And 93-62, small break back for the last 3:39. Petro de Luanda on the verge of securing that third place here at the first ever Basketball Africa League. Patriots playing catch up, but it's tricky. We are going to go and hear from Asha.
Well, Robbie, earlier you were speaking about how everyone involved in this tournament has done an incredible job, and I would like to say that in this particular game, looking at the players, the technical benches of both teams, we have 12 incredible nationalities. Obviously, you have the Rwandans, you have the Angolans, you have, you know, the Banza from DRC, who's the referee from Kenya. You have Tom Bush and Ben Oloch on the bench for the Patriots. The referee Wael is from Egypt. You have Fikadu from Ethiopia, and really also to see that out of the continent of Africa, you have Jose Neto, the coach of Petro de Luanda from Brazil, the physio and the physical trainer Diego Falcao from Cuba, and obviously the Americans and the British here. So really just to see how the entire world has come together in different aspects of this game to bring a good product, to show that African basketball deserves to be on a big space like this. It is incredible to watch.
Okay, and just what about you, Asha? What's been the magic for you? What's made you think that this has just been, you know, an exceptional experience?
Well, obviously, when you look at the level of detail, the amount of detail that has been put in everything at this tournament, it's incredible. And really the professionalism to see how everyone is excited. And also you must remember that we are in the middle of a pandemic. It's always great to have a tournament like this. And as of today, we're talking about almost 20,000 PCR and antigen tests that have been done. And until now, no player, no coach has tested positive for COVID-19. So big kudos to the management of the BAL. It's been an amazing tournament.
Well, we've been privileged to have you. You must be a very proud Ugandan, very proud African seeing this event taking place. Asha, thank you so much. And we'll catch up with you, of course, in the next game, a little showdown between two of the top teams here in Africa. Of course, Zamalek up against US Monastir. That one will start. It'll tip off in just under 2 hours. And the dynamic trio will be there to guide you through. We can't wait. We're back on court here as we see another attempt for a pair of points with a layup coming in, but it doesn't find its destination. Sagamba, Patriots in possession here, Lance.
This has just been incredible. I mean, words really escape me to describe all the things and elements that have come together here. And I mean, there are really two championships being played right now. One is the totality of bringing so many people, places, nations, municipalities, leadership, and otherwise together to make this happen. I mean, that's one. And we get to the end of next game, that is a huge success in and of itself, Robbie. And as Usher said, the fact that we're doing it during a pandemic, that adds even more excitement to being able to accomplish it under these conditions. And then, of course, the basketball piece, which is the reason that we're here and what brings us all together, the common thread. That, too, will be the other championship, but also incredibly exciting to see who takes the reign and sits on the mantle, the initial mantle, if you will, and who will be people will be gunning for as the BAL champion.
You know what, Lance, I want to reel off everybody's name. You know, it'll probably take about 3 days, okay? Three days to actually reel off everybody's name who's been part of this. This is just incredible. We've got no time to just do all of that, but we are thinking of you, and we've met you, and we've seen you, and we've seen exactly what you've done and how you've made this possible. It's just credit and kudos to all of you guys, because it's been exceptional. And this is the final day. It's going to be an emotional affair when we actually step back and say, wow, is that over? Can we do another one straight away, please?
No question. No question.
So true, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's bigger than the statistics you're looking at right there, because this game, the three-pointers, as you illustrated, you know, almost 50% by Petro de Luanda. And just, it's a BAL record. No team is, I don't think, shot more, but also made 20 at almost a 50% clip, which is quite impressive. But, you know, just, you're right, you can't say every single name. And also, there are names that aren't here. And I mentioned it, and we did it last night. The BAL paid tribute to B.J. Johnson. He's got skin in this because he was a big part of BWB. We got 9 players who will be in the final from the BWB. That started back in the early 2000s. 2003 was the first one. I mean, so you got to go back that far and that wide to start
absolutely
pulling names together that are a part of this happening. Needless to say, the people who are on the ground now, the people back in the States, in New York, New Jersey, we could go on and on and on. So just incredible. I'm not going to want to let go. They may have to pry me out of the country because it's just been a phenomenal experience with phenomenal people like yourself, Robbie.
Oh, listen, it reciprocates, doesn't it? It's just been incredible, really extraordinary for the first ever chapter of this wonderful, wonderful journey that we're on. As we count down the last few seconds, of course, we can see that there's a 30-point difference between these two teams. We're not really looking at the scoreline now. Look at that from Johnny Pedro. He's been rocking it right from the very start. A top quality player, to be honest with you, in every different department. You know, when you think about the All-Star 5, he must be up there as one of the players who's knocking on the door of getting in there, despite the fact that they're not in the final. Yeah,
he goes in the conversation, and also he's one of my guys that I think should warrant some NBA eyes because of his ability to offensive rebound. He had a 17 rebound game, 10 of which were on the offensive end. He can block shots. He's good with his feet. And so, you know, he's a very impressive ball player and someone I'll be following to see what happens in his career going forward.
Yeah, very agile as well. Here we go then into another shot, wonderfully done, nicely dropped in to say hello once again. As you can see that there are more points. Jay doing the damage as Petro trying to reach the 100-point mark. Might not happen. They get the ball back. They're just going to hold on to it. This is the end of the penultimate game here in Rwanda. The Basketball Africa League. The last couple of seconds, it is over and out. Petro de Luanda have stormed through this third-place playoff encounter, and they secure the third place on the podium in the inaugural Basketball Africa League. A thumping victory over the local team, the Patriots, as Jose Neto goes over, and that's what the BAL means. These guys, you know, appreciating exactly what they do and giving them lots of credit, because just there you have a Brazilian and an American coach. We've got so many locals from all of the different countries represented, so many people involved from probably all of the countries in Africa. I'm pretty sure about that. And then we've got some foreigners. You know, it means so much to these guys as well, because they're part of it. They're part of this entire project. Petro Luanda, congratulations. Patriots, congratulations. In fact, I want to congratulate everybody, Lance, because I think that this is just spellbindingly beautiful, all of it.
Yeah, I love how the Patriots are celebrating their fans. It was a long journey for them to get to this point, as you talked about it, even before the bubble started and the teams showed up. They were having to either prepare and or compete to get to this level. So I love the moment here with these guys in the middle of the circle.
It's magic, Lance. And we are very, very privileged to have the MVP today, Vander. Good to hear from you. How are you? Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm fine, thank you.
Good. Listen, I spoke to your teammate there, Ryan Richards, just before the game. Sorry, at halftime, and I said, "What did Vander actually have for breakfast?" Because you came from a different planet today. That was a remarkable performance from you. How can you explain that?
I mean, I had the same breakfast that everybody had. I just want to come out here and have fun, and don't think too much about the game last night. It was tough for everybody. Nobody likes to lose, and I just want to come in a positive way and play the game of basketball.
How important was it to play a good game out there today? How important was it for a team? How did you come together with Coach Neto and say, okay, we didn't make it in the semis, but this third place game is so important? What was the team talk and what was the atmosphere around the team?
We just motivate each other. Just come out here and with the positive note and the same intensity, and just finish the season great. Things didn't go our way, but we still here to compete.
Vander, this is Lance Blanks here, man, and you had a phenomenal game, arguably one of the best in the last few days here. What was behind that, man? You were throwing it in the basket like it was pebbles being thrown in the ocean. What drove that?
just play, just play with the free mind, I know this is the last game. Just give everything we got, and we just got to stay ready, stay ready every time.
Well, where do you go from here? I mean, tell me about, you're going to go celebrate. Third place is no slouch, and I know you wanted to get first place. Where do you go from here? And also within that, tell me what the whole experience was like for you to compete for the inaugural BAL championship.
Definitely one amazing experience. I love everything about, the BAL League since day one. This is my first time, have an experience like this. I went to the World Cup not till 2 years ago, and it was kind of the same environment, like good people, good everything, man. I just loved everything about it. Very professional, and for Africa, that's what we're looking for. And for here as a team, we're just looking forward to be better. We already qualified for next season, so we just gotta keep building on what we already have and just keep it improving. Don't think about it. This year was the way it happened, the way it happened, but we'll still have still have next year to come out here and compete.
Well, I want to personally thank you for making this experience phenomenal, not only for me, but for fans around the world and across the continent of Africa. But also, I've watched you in the bubble. You are an absolute class act, man, and I wish you all the best in your career going forward. I'm going to give it back to my partner, but celebrate what you've been able to be a part of with this BAL, man, and congratulations and great job.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks very much, Vanda. Listen, you can go back to Angola and you can really just appreciate what you've done. Muito obrigado. What an incredible guy. What an incredible team. They fought valiantly. Okay, they finished third place. At the end of the day, the Patriots didn't manage to get what they wanted. But, for me, even fourth place, you're a winner. You've actually managed to go far in the competition. As we can see, 20 out of 44 for the 3 points. You've probably doubled that in your career because we know what you're capable of doing. But that's impressive in itself.
Yeah, it is. And dang near 50% from that mark is beyond impressive. And it wasn't for the championship, but it was for a placement game, third place. So that was impressive. Vander's performance was impressive. And then just showing up, because sometimes it's hard to come back in less than 24 hours and play in a game where you aren't playing for the big trophy.
That's so true. And I've researched your career, Lance, and I can understand that you sometimes played 4 games, back to back.
No, there you go. You're pulling.
Sorry, that's
you're pulling stuff. We got a big game.
Okay,
you're pulling.
Right. Sorry, no, you're right.
You start drifting. You start
I have drifted. I've derailed.
You start drifting. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, let's get back on track.
Let's do it, buddy.
What have we got coming up? We've got a big game. It's a final day, of course, and there's a trophy up there that's going to be owned by one of the 2 teams. We have the Giants from Africa, of course. From North Africa, from Egypt. They are the kings. They're the pharaohs. They're trying to create a new dynasty. They certainly are. Zamalek up against US Monastir. Monastir from Tunisia. Oh, it's a tough one to call, don't you think, Lance?
I do think it is. I need to learn, is a dynasty anything like a dynasty, or is a dynasty something in dentistry? You have to help me with that, but I do agree. It is going to be tough to call. As a matter of fact, we'll put you on the hot seat. You only got a few seconds. Who are you picking?
Great game for everybody. It is the BAL. Join us in a couple of hours' time. I can't call that, I'm afraid. We'll see you then. It's final time, 4 p.m. local time. See you then.